Like, whatever, it's a message to all the people out there that whatever their dream is, that they should never give up.
It was a voice that stopped the internet mid-scroll, a young girl barefoot on stage, channeling the spirit of jazz legends like Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald, with a haunting, smoky tone that felt like it had time-traveled from another era. Angelina Jordan's performance instantly drew comparisons to vocal icons, but as admiration poured in, so did the doubts. How could an 8-year-old sound like she'd lived through decades of heartbreak and soul? Flawless vibrato, the emotional phrasing, the control, it felt almost too polished, too perfect. And in today's digital age, where deepfakes and post-processing run rampant, perfection often invites suspicion. Whispers started to circulate online. Was it really her voice, or had producers sprinkled a little studio magic? Fans were stunned, skeptics were curious, and the media silent. But in the corners of forums and comment threads, a debate was ignited that refused to be silenced. And what started as admiration began to snowball into something far more complicated. But the mystery didn't end there, because the real story was only just beginning. Like and subscribe if you're ready to go deeper into a story that might not be as smooth as her voice sounds. It all kicked off with one now iconic clip, a rendition of "I Put a Spell on You" that sent shivers across YouTube, instantly clocking millions of views. As viewers replayed the video obsessively, questions started bubbling up, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows of the internet, Reddit, Facebook groups, private Discord servers. Some users claimed her tone was too studio-level for a live performance, others slowed the audio down and claimed to hear inconsistencies between breath control and microphone pickup. A few even accused the producers of syncing a pre-recorded vocal track. One audio engineer broke down the waveforms in a viral post, suggesting potential post-processing artifacts, prompting users to debate, is this evidence or just overanalysis? No official statement came, and perhaps none was needed. The rumor had taken on a life of its own. It wasn't just about Angelina anymore, it was about belief, trust, and the discomfort people feel when raw talent appears to defy explanation. And what happened next would only fan the flames. Stay with us as we uncover what the skeptics did when live performances entered the mix. As the rumors grew louder, so did the complexity of the claims. Internet sleuths dove deep into her earliest performances, comparing vocal inflections, breath patterns, and even background noise for inconsistencies. Some accused the shows of using a technique called ghost vocal layering, where a second, slightly enhanced track is overlaid on top of a live performance. Others speculated about subtle auto-tuning or EQ balancing to artificially warm her tone. A few wild theories even suggested that a seasoned jazz singer was behind a curtain doing the real vocals. While none of these claims had hard evidence, the consistency of Angelina's tone across multiple settings baffled skeptics. Why didn't she sound even slightly off under pressure? Why was every performance so smooth, so clean? Theories ranged from high-end in-ear monitor setups to covert engineering tricks. In one thread, a user wrote, "I'm not saying she's faking it, but something not adding up." And in the world of viral fame, that kind of comment is rocket fuel. But Angelina didn't hide from the spotlight. Instead, she stepped right into it. Subscribe for what she did next, because it surprised everyone. The strongest counter-argument to the voice double theory, her live performances. From America's Got Talent, The Champions, to appearances across Europe and Asia, Angelina Jordan didn't just maintain her tone, she elevated it. Fans meticulously compared high-quality live recordings to her studio tracks, expecting to find signs of digital enhancement. Instead, they found consistency. One music blogger broke down a live version of Bohemian Rhapsody, highlighting that her dynamic control and vibrato matched the studio release nearly note for note. Still, critics pointed out minor timing shifts or audio balancing choices, claiming these proved post-editing. But engineers familiar with live broadcasting insisted such adjustments were standard, not deceptive. Despite the rumors, no smoking gun emerged. And yet, the speculation didn't die. Why? Because for some, pure talent just wasn't a satisfying explanation. But the real battle wasn't between Angelina and the critics. It was playing out between two armies online. Keep watching as we explore the internet war that divided her fanbase. As debates raged, the internet split into two fierce camps. On one side, die-hard Angelina fans armed with vocal analyses, timestamps, and behind-the-scenes clips insisted she was simply a prodigy, no smoke, no mirrors. On the other side, skeptics, many anonymous, doubled down with theories about ghost vocals, studio overlays, or even AI-assisted enhancements. Some said her performances were too perfect, others that they felt emotionally manipulated by the studio polish. The comments section became a war zone. Every post about Angelina was met with both adoration and suspicion. Her defenders often cited her calm demeanor and consistent presence in live interviews as proof of authenticity. Her critics, however, framed the production team as the real puppet masters, orchestrating every element of her public image. And in a social media landscape hungry for scandal, the possibility of fakery, however baseless, always outperformed the truth in clicks. But behind the talent was something most skeptics overlooked: a story of discipline and legacy. Stay tuned as we peel back the curtain on her early training and the roots of her incredible voice. Long before viral fame or internet drama, Angelina Jordan was already immersed in music. Raised in a family that nurtured the arts, she reportedly began vocal training as early as age 5. Her mother, a former vocal coach, introduced her to legends like Ella Fitzgerald and Nina Simone, not just as artists, but as mentors in style, emotion, and technique. Unlike many child performers chasing pop stardom, Angelina focused on tone, phrasing, and emotional depth. She wasn't copying voices, she was learning to embody them. She practiced daily, often barefoot as a tribute to children without shoes, and developed her voice in silence, away from the noise of fame. By the time she appeared on national television, she'd already clocked years of preparation. Her phrasing, timing, and soulfulness weren't miracles, they were muscles built through relentless training. But that's not as click-worthy as studio trickery, is it? In interviews, she's credited her authenticity to staying grounded in old-school jazz and staying far from commercial pressures. But even authenticity has its limits in the court of public opinion. Coming up, the moment she silenced the critics on the world's biggest stage. When Angelina Jordan stepped onto the AGT Champions stage, she didn't just perform, she sent a message. With a live rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody so haunting and nuanced, even the judges sat speechless. No backing track, no apparent edits, just her and the mic. Social media buzzed again, but this time the narrative shifted. Even some skeptics had to admit, this wasn't the work of a studio engineer, this was raw talent. Music producers praised her vocal stamina, noting her ability to maintain tone and control across an unpredictable melody. Still, conspiracy theorists tried to poke holes, pointing out lighting setups or microphone angles as if trying to uncover a trick behind the magic. But the audience had seen enough. She performed again in Scandinavia and the UK, each time proving her consistency. Not a single performance cracked under pressure. And with each live appearance, the doubters got quieter, their posts less frequent, their theories thinner. Hook, but the biggest twist. The controversy might have been the very thing that fueled her rise. Don't go anywhere. The final truth behind the rumor may not be what you expect. In the end, the voice double rumor said more about us than it did about Angelina. In a digital world flooded with filters, edits, and synthetic sounds, a voice like hers feels almost alien. It challenges our assumptions. We've been trained to expect polish as a product of technology, not talent. So when a barefoot teenager channels vintage soul with uncanny precision, our first instinct is disbelief. Maybe the conspiracy wasn't an attack, it was a coping mechanism. We need to rationalize greatness, especially when it doesn't come wrapped in the usual industry polish. Angelina never released an angry statement, never lashed out. She simply sang, again and again, louder than any rumor. Her voice is her weapon, her proof, and her peace. And maybe that's the real twist. Not that the voice was layered, but that the public's faith in authenticity had been peeled away. In the end, Angelina Jordan didn't need to prove the rumors wrong, she just had to keep singing until we listened. And if you made it this far, you probably did. Like, share, and subscribe to support real stories, real talent, and the truth behind the music.